Whity Score. I'm the review who loves to say son of a bitch. The same review who hates most Nintendo shit. I'm the one who calls games what they are. I even own the 360 and hate Gears of War. Guy who spends his money on games, fucking cars. Just a funny guy who became a YouTube star.
Alright, so the story and prototype is you're Alex Mercer, an unfortunate man who happens to one day wake up on the slab of a morgue, freaks out and doesn't really know what's going on, except that you have some pretty freaking awesome powers. And as you play the game, you will discover who you are, more so, or what you are, and why you have these abilities. And throughout the game, you'll run into these characters that have memories, and you will see bits and pieces of the past put together as you come to the end of the game, and the story starts to wrap up. So it's a pretty in-depth story. But
my only problem really with the story is how it's really told. It's not the story itself. I understand that he's an infection and the city's becoming infected, but it's really the way he has to get the information by absorbing people. It's basically like a bunch of flashbacks put together, and it's just not, I'm not really grasping the feeling of a steady story. But overall, it's not a bad story, it's just the way it's told. I'm not really liking it too much. The prototype are used in two different ways. There's the CGI and the in-game graphics, which, you know, tell some of the story and the background and everything, and then you have the actual graphics of the game when you're running around and getting shot by tanks, chased by hunters, and shot by soldiers. And what's good about this game is there's no frame rate problems, no slowdowns. The game just runs really nicely. Are the graphics the best graphics I've ever seen? No, the explosions can use some work, the models of the soldiers can use some work. But overall, the game does a great job of keeping it up with the amount of shit that's going on the screen.
And I have to agree with Whitey on that one. The frame rate is just rock solid. Yeah, you got rockets flying through the air, helicopters crashing down, tanks exploding, buildings rocking, infected chasing. You're flying through the air like you're just this badass, and you are a badass. And it's just, it doesn't miss a beat with the frame rate. The explosions, like Whitey said, yeah, it really could use some work, but considering it's an open world game and how smooth this frame rate is, it's really good. And yeah, the soldiers and NPCs don't look the best, but again, you're factoring in the fact that it's got a nice steady frame rate throughout the game and a huge open world gameplay. So
section, I would have to say I was half and half on it. There were, you know, some really good things, some things I really didn't care for. The good things were definitely all the different powers you can use, from having a whip to having arms like the Hulk to basically, you know, being this Super Saiyan badass in the end. That's the great feeling of this game, flying through the air, coming down on the ground and making cracks throughout the concrete. It's just you're picking up tanks. I mean, you're just like the strongest motherfucker ever to exist. And that's a great feeling in this game. I also like that besides all these powers that you gain and everything, you can also hijack helicopters, tanks, use guns on top of using all these badass powers. I think that's like a nice way of just making it add into this chaotic world that you're in. Really the negatives I have with it are the targeting system. I really think it needed more work, especially when you have tanks after you. The game likes to target the tanks, but you really need to target like the hunters who are beating the shit out of you and so on. I really think it needed some work there. I also didn't like all the side missions or the missions themselves. I thought a lot of them needed more work or just needed more fun, especially some of the later missions. They just really aren't all that fun, especially when, okay, I can't spoil it, but you'll see what I mean. Around mission 13. Also, I would recommend starting this game on easy because normal would probably fuck you up pretty bad. Starting off easy will give you, you know, a nice steady difficulty and not really beat the shit out of you. Plus, you can carry your stats to the next game, so you don't have to worry about, you know, starting all over again with different stats.
And I have to say, yeah, I really love the powers in the game. Yeah, you do feel like this, like probably the most badass dude in a video game ever. I mean, more powerful than even superheroes in their own superhero games. The glide function is just awesome, you know. It's flying through the air just feels amazing when you land on the ground and make cracks on the ground and then shoot people up in the air from your landing. It's just it's always satisfying. Getting in helicopters and tanks is always a lot of fun. It lets you cause a lot more destruction. Now side missions for me, I actually enjoyed them a little bit more than Whitey. Anything from infiltrating a base where you can actually infiltrate and stealth consume people without even causing an alarm to go off, and thus raising your abilities as a disguise as a human. You know, getting better abilities like using your assault rifle, your grenade launcher. That's how you're gonna do that. Or you can just take the buildings out and just destroy them and not care about that. But the side missions are cool. I didn't really like the gliding side missions because it's really easy. It's just kind of glide, drop, and those were kind of pointless. But I enjoyed the main story missions too as well, and I didn't really have as many problems. But things I didn't like, yeah, the targeting system was a little chaotic with so much going on. Yeah, sometimes you're trying to flick to the target and it's just not going to go there, and you're just like, what the fuck? Also, as he said, the difficulty, you're going to get your ass handed to you. I'm playing on normal, and I've died quite a bit, but not a lot. But you can see people getting frustrated with that. So yeah, start on easy. You can actually change it to normal, keep all your stats. So if you're having problems, do that. I highly recommend it.
But, well, let me start off real fast. That the game can be anywhere from 9 hours to 15 hours, mattering if you take your time. It could probably be even longer if you do every side mission. So it's a pretty lengthy game. Plus, playing on the next difficulty with all your powers, you know, that can add even more replayability. So it can work really well for you guys. Plus, the achievements they're not really that easy to get. You don't get them just by beating the game. You don't get 200 achievements. You have to actually earn them, like do certain things like kill a certain amount of infected and you get an achievement and so on. So I think that's a pretty cool way of doing achievements instead of just beating the game. So with Prototype, I really wish I could like it more, but there were too many flaws for me to really get into Prototype. Like I said, the mission structure, I wasn't really feeling it. The story is not the way I like a story to be told. But all this doesn't mean that someone else can't enjoy this game. It's just the way I like games. It wasn't set up the way that I enjoy games.
And yeah, on the other hand, I really enjoyed Prototype. I wasn't super hyped for it. I wanted to play it. I'm really digging the story, the memories, collecting the memories, and putting kind of the pieces of the puzzle of the story together. Really enjoy that. And I like the whole virus setting. I like the missions. I like the powers. I mean, I'm really liking the game. And it should just show that this isn't Prototype is by any means not a bad game. Some people are going to enjoy it definitely more than others. It's either going to click with you or it's not.
Exactly, and I think if you do have taste, you would probably pick up Infamous over it. Just to say. No, I'm just kidding. Really, Infamous, Prototype, Red Faction, they're all really good games in their own way. They
Yes.
do something totally different, each of them. It's not like they're all trying to copy each other. And if you own both systems, I think you really can enjoy all three games different ways. You can either destroy a bunch of buildings, be a Super Saiyan badass, or have like a comic book feeling to a game. So I think if you do like Prototype, you're probably more into destroying everything, and it's a lot like the Hulk. So if you enjoy the Hulk, pick up Prototype. And any last words?
Really, the open-ended sandbox genre games are very subjective to a person's likes and dislikes. The bottom line is, if you can have fun with this game, have fun with his powers, you're more than likely to probably enjoy this game. But again, it just depends on what floats your boat, people.
Exactly. Infamous is better. No, I'm kidding. Don't go all crazy, people. Alright.
Oh my god!
So,
She's British.
okay, go.
Okay, so just gonna be like story.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't worry, I'll cut out this part.
Yeah, and yeah, I know you can do all your editing stuff. Okay.
Yeah, leave this for outtakes.
Okay. Okay, well, I got
Games. Probably, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. But I'll just edit this part out.